This video will show you how to replace the cruise control switch on a Chrysler Town & Country. This will be mounted to the passenger side of your steering wheel. Let's get into it. Okay friend, let's get started on our job. Now since we will have to dislodge our horn pad, which is also where our front airbag is located, we're going to have to disconnect our negative and positive battery terminals, and then I always attach each of those two together and hang them away from the battery. This will help discharge any voltage from inside of the vehicle's system. We'll use a 10mm for each one of our mounting nuts. Loosen that just enough that you can remove the terminal end from the battery post. Now at this point, as I mentioned, we're going to connect both of these together. Just use a wire tie for that. Make sure those are not touching up against a battery post. Now after you've let your vehicle sit for approximately 15 minutes with those two cables connected together, that should discharge any capacitors located inside of the vehicle. So essentially there's no more voltage leading to our airbag system. Now we're going to start removing that horn pad. As far as that, we're going to have to turn the steering wheel in one direction or the other. You're going to find that there's 3 locking tabs located behind this area. Now you'll have one on either side, and you're going to have a third one down along the bottom. With that said, let's go ahead and turn this steering wheel so we can have a quick look. Now as I look, I can see that I do have a large hole, and inside of that large hole, there's a small metal clip. We're going to be using a long angled pick. As far as this long angled pick, we want to try to get underneath that metal tab, gently pry it up, and we should see the horn pad start pulling away from the steering wheel. We'll be repeating that process for all 3 of our metal clips. There we are. You can see that one has separated. Both of the upper areas have separated. There we are. As you can tell, the horn pad has separated from the area. Now we're going to rest our horn and airbag unit down in an area that will not cause any damage to our electrical wiring harness. At this point, we have the steering wheel upside down. This is where our cruise control switch is located. It would typically be over on the passenger side. We're going to start by disconnecting our electrical connector. It has one locking tab. I'm pressing it in with my small pocket screwdriver. You can also do that by hand. Of course, a quick inspection of any electrical connector as you remove it. If you see any corrosion, it needs to be taken care of. Now you're going to find that you have 3 Phillips head mounting screws holding this in place. Let's remove all 3 of these screws, and we can remove the unit, bringing it out through this area. There's our first screw. All 3 of these screws should look the same. You shouldn't have to worry about mixing them up. Just reach in here, we'll take hold of that switch, rotate it out of position. There it is, friend. Now, prior to installing any brand new part, of course we want to make sure we clean and inspect the mounting area. We just have the 3 ports for our 3 mounting screws. We'll give this a quick wipe with a clean rag. Don't use any type of detergent in this area. After a close inspection, confirming everything's in good usable order, we can prepare for installation of our brand new cruise control switch. Now when we go to install our cruise control switch, as you know, my steering wheel is upside down, so the switch is actually going to go in this direction. I'm going to be taking this and I'll be sliding it straight on through my steering wheel port. Now I'm rotating it into the proper positioning. Once you feel as though you have it in the proper position, continue on to all 3 of your mounting bolts. You'll start them all in. Once they're all started in, snug them up. So I just have my Phillips head screw directly on a screwdriver here. As I mentioned, we're only starting it in. Okay, they're all started in. Let's go ahead and snug them up and we'll make sure they're nice and tight. Bottomed out, just a tiny bit further there. Bottomed out. We'll take hold of that switch, confirm that it is secured. It should not move around in any way. Continue on to the electrical connector next. As far as that's concerned, align the locking tab area, press it in, and listen for an audible click. After that, just go ahead and double check, make sure it's secure. Now that I feel as though I have it pressed in, I'm just going to take hold of that wiring harness. I'll give it a little wiggle. It should not slide out of place. One last quick inspection in this area and we can reinstall the horn pad. So as you know, our steering wheel is upside down. Let's start bringing this in the proper placement here. We're attempting to align our locking clips with their corresponding areas, and then we're going to press this straight in towards our steering wheel. After that, we'll just double check to make sure it's completely seated all the way around. Under the hood, let's go ahead and reconnect each one of our battery terminals. We're going to be starting with the positive terminal first. We'll press that all the way down onto the battery as far as possible. Tighten the 10mm nut until it's nice and snug. Right there is bottomed out. We'll just take it a tiny bit further there. Double check. It should not move around in any way. Continue on to the negative battery terminal. Same process here, just make sure it's nice and snug. Okay, right there, just a tiny bit further, and it's secure. Okay, friend, we finished the installation. The next thing we need to do is test the functionality of our horn pad, and then of course you're going to take the Vehicle 4 road test and test the functionality of your cruise control switch. Perfect. Thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.